Hey guys, I just saw Avengers Infinity War. Oh, screw it. Just play the intro. Hey guys. Well, I just saw Avengers Infinity War. And my God, this movie really blew me away. I gotta say, oh wow, oh yeah, I was really truly surprised by this movie. This was a masterful, epic comic book film. Just a large scale film. This is probably the best, honestly, of the Avengers films. I really felt like they built upon all of the movies that came before this. Ironically enough, especially Guardians of the Galaxy, that actually plays a gigantic part. I mean, they all play a huge part in this. But yeah, I have to say, this was just an enormous film in many ways. This is also the first Marvel film in a while that I've seen where maybe the first Marvel film ever, honestly, where I truly had no idea what the hell was going to happen in this movie. I was really surprised by some of the twists and turns of this movie. Now, just a heads up, now this is my review of Infinity War, but obviously I'm not going to spoil anything. Thanos has demanded my silence, and so I will not give away any crucial plot points to this movie. I will be talking about the movie very loosely, and again, that's really the only way I can talk about this movie because of the fact that, I can't really get into any details about this thing. If I reveal even the smallest detail about this film, it's really going to ruin it for the audience, so I'm not going to get into plot details. All I'm going to say is that Thanos is a big bad guy, he's got a big golden gauntlet, and there's those stones that they've mentioned in every Marvel movie, basically every Marvel movie up until now. And really, man, it's really all been building up to this. It's a huge movie. Thanos is, like I mentioned, the major bad guy here. And Josh Brolin is just masterful in this part. The fact that he is basically CGI in this, or mostly CGI in this, is mind-blowing to me. He gave an enormous performance. He is just so damn good as Thanos. He's really a force to be reckoned with. Truly, he really is. The opening scene of the film really sets the tone for the rest of the picture, and that this really is the only Marvel movie to date where no one is safe. There is some crap that goes down in this movie that had the audience, when I saw it, the audience gasping. It happens multiple times that there is just some moments that are just so shocking that people walked out of the movie theater in a trance. And it's kind of funny because I'll talk more about what I think the reaction to this film is going to be later on in the review. But honestly, this, right from the get-go, this movie really made it clear that all bets are off. That they're not screwing around in this one, and that, some heavy stuff is going to happen in this movie. And it does, let me tell you, it really truly does. Honestly, it's a very intense film. The action sequences in this were very well done, even though they're not as many of them as I'd like. What you got was great. I think this is more of a story-driven film, surprisingly enough. But the action sequences that we did get are huge and epic, and even the smaller scalar ones that are not as, intense, I should say, are very well done. And honestly, it's not a movie for kids. This movie had some very, as I mentioned, some very intense moments. And even a couple jump scares that really just threw me out of my skin. I jumped quite a few times in this movie. I got shocked a lot. And I gotta say, it got me. It got me a few times, I gotta say. Whew. Oh, yeah, that's good. Anyway, I really think that this movie is probably not for kids. It is PG-13, but honestly, unlike basically all of the Marvel movies, maybe except for Civil War and Winter Soldier, which ironically enough were both directed by the same duo that did this movie, the Russo brothers, They both directed those movies, and honestly, those are the darkest Marvel movies around, and this is probably the darkest. Actually not really probably, it's hands down the darkest Marvel movie. This is not a kid's movie. I actually, for the first time ever, for a Marvel film, I would probably not recommend you bring your kids to this film. It's pretty rough. It's very dark. As I mentioned, there's some pretty scary moments in it, and honestly, for a movie that was 2.5 hours long, it was very well paced. I actually kind of wanted the movie to go on longer. Those of you that have seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. But it is a very, very quickly paced 2.5 hours. I never checked my watch once the entire time the movie started. The movie was going, I should say. But the tone of the movie is a little bit all over the place. And there are some truly hilarious moments in this. One moment in the film, of course, thanks to Tony Stark, who just, again, Robert Downey Jr. just brings it home in this movie. He is just so good. Even though he's not really in it a lot, he really does a great job. But, man, he has a moment in this movie that he shares with some other characters. I'm not going to give it away, but it is an absolutely just brilliant moment of acting where he doesn't even say a word, and the comedy just is there, and he knows it. And Downey Jr. RDJ is just he's such a masterful actor. I really wish he would make more movies. He's kind of been riding on the gravy train of Marvel for a little bit, except for a few movies here and there he's made. But this movie, he is just so outstanding as Tony Stark. He just does a great job in it, as well as everybody else does. Honestly, there's really no bad performances in this movie that I can speak of. Acting-wise, it's outstanding. Scarlett Johansson may be the only one that's kind of not quite really fleshed out in this, which is kind of depressing because I was hoping to learn more about her character. You really don't in this. You learned a lot about her character in the last Avengers movie. I was really hoping for more stuff with her in it, but she's really not a major player in this one. She is in it, but I mean, she's really only there to kick ass and look good, and she does that. So I mean, oh God, I gotta stop drinking. Whew, what's in this stuff? But she does a great job. I mean, she plays the part. She's Black Widow. She's got blonde hair in this one. Whatever. I'll look at Scarlett Johansson mop a floor for 3 hours if I had to. I don't care. She's beautiful. She's a wonderful actress. She does her job. I think, honestly, the big shiner in this, I think the real star that shines in this is obviously Josh Brolin. Although Chris Hemsworth, this Thor, really gets some time to shine in this, and he just nails it in this movie. Along with, ironically enough, Paul Bettany as Vision. He is definitely just a very, very good actor all around, not just in this, but his performance as Vision in this is also probably the most interesting aspect of the film because you really get to see a side of that character I was not expecting, and it's a great performance again, all around great performances. The tone of the movie, however, is a little bit all over the place. And I think it's because all these characters are going through something different all at the same time in this movie. And the movie goes from extremely deadly serious to very, very funny, sometimes within seconds. And it kind of threw me for a loop, but for some reason the movie gets away with it. Most movies would never be able to pull that off. In this one here, for some reason, they did it well. But I'd have to say I prefer a more straight tone movie with inflections of humor. This movie here, it just goes, it's like, oh, something crazy just happened, and we got a laugh line, and something crazy just happened, and we got a laugh line, and that happens a lot in this movie, but I gotta tell you, it's very well done, it's very well shot. The Russo brothers shot this whole damn thing in IMAX, and I got to see it in IMAX 3D, which was amazing. It's a very immersive experience. I've actually become more akin to Dolby Atmos theaters, but this IMAX movie, again, the IMAX theater I saw it in was just outstanding. I absolutely love the fact that they shot it in that Ultra Panavision 70, that big screen format. I love that. The 3D, I gotta be honest, not quite necessary. If I had to see it again, I'd probably see it either in Dolby Atmos or I would see it in just regular IMAX without the 3D. There are some scenes where the 3D does lend itself very well, but I'm not a big fan of 3D anymore. I figured if I was gonna go see it, I'd see it in the biggest, craziest format ever, and it was a great time. I absolutely loved it. I was flabbergasted by the ending, and it's an intense one. I gotta tell you, it's pretty intense, and as a Marvel movie, for a Marvel movie, it is brave. Let me tell you, it is very intense, and I loved it. I love the way they ended this movie, but I gotta tell you, I have a feeling we're gonna have a lot of people bitching and moaning about it. A lot of people still to this day hate the last Star Wars movie. They thought it was garbage. They thought, honestly, everything about it was the wrong direction. And I think a lot of people are going to say the same thing about this one. It's ironic that they're both now owned by Disney. But I got to tell you, I think what they're doing with this movie is unreal. I have no idea where the next Marvel film is going to go. I have a clue, but I don't really know what's up next. I don't know how they're going to handle what happens in this film. I don't know what's gonna go down. But my God, am I looking forward to it? I got to tell you, woohoo, boy. But it goes down smooth. Overall, I loved Avengers: Infinity War. It's hands down the best Avengers film. It's probably the best Marvel film, honestly. I still love Civil War and Winter Soldier, again, all directed by the same people. But this is my new favorite. I absolutely was blown away by this movie, and I think you will be too. Please go see Avengers: Infinity War. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5. The only thing I could knock this movie for is the tone. Everything else is dead on. My God, did this movie have me in shock at the end of it, and it's been a long time since I saw a comic book film that left me as affected as this one. It's going to probably be a long time since there's another one too, but oh boy, Marvel, what the hell are you going to do next, man? I don't know what these guys are going to do. Ooh, yeah. But anyway, I'm Andrew Cavanaugh. Thank you for coming back to Cavanaugh's Corner, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Ooh, I'm going to end up finishing this bottle. Yeah.